So, hi and welcome to Take One with Samantha Fremont.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on the show. We have this amazing guest on today who I've been very, very excited to have. So, so she is Melbourne-based singer-songwriter Emma Yue.
That is me.
who has burst onto the local music scene with 3 breakout hits.
Oh, thanks.
So Headlights is your most recent single.
Yes, it is.
And actually, I think we should probably start with that one.
Yeah, cool.
Because that is honestly amazing.
Thanks. Yeah.
Each of your songs and music videos have like a completely different feel.
I know. It's a bit of a crisis for me right now.
But I will say with that one, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like so cinematic. It's giving, in a way, it's giving like kind of like driver's license, but if you were
what a compliment.
But playing with the colours as well.
Thanks. Yeah, it was really interesting when I pitched the like music video idea to my friend T, who directed it. I was like, I want to do this really like Tumblr-esque. I want to like channel my inner 14-year-old who was obsessed with like making GIFs and like Halsey and all of that kind of stuff. And when they were like, I can just get these 2 like really intense like spotlight color things and we can do the whole video playing with these 2 colors and like the back and forth between it, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be so cool. T, you understand the vision.
Yeah.
So I was so excited about that. It was really cool.
And I loved as well that like outside, like when you drive to the house
oh my God,
in
yeah.
the music video, there isn't the dramatic color. It's when you get inside
that
it becomes
yeah. Well, I had the idea and I wasn't entirely sure how to like tie it all together. And my first like the starting point for the music video was very much the driving, because that's part of the song, is the aspect of like nostalgia and reminiscing and being in your car specifically when you're doing that. So I was like, well, we got to do that. Like that's sort of a given. So we decided to bookend the video with this me driving up to the house, have the whole video happen, and then me actually going into the house. So it's like all the colors are sort of like meant to be a sort of dreamscapey. Oh, I know this is what's going to happen when I go in. And I'm sort of delaying that because I feel like I can exist in this in-between space for a bit without actually dealing with the loss of this person. So it was a really interesting concept to like play around with. Half of that is T's idea. T was so good.
Yeah, it's an absolutely amazing music video, and I will say
thanks.
it also sounds great in the car. I've sat like after noticing that it was called Headlights, I'm like, okay, I feel like this is supposed to be like the car song.
You're so right. You understood.
But yeah, honestly, an amazing music video.
Thanks.
Was there any like I guess musical influences as well that helped shape the song?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the artist is called, and I know who it is. I know what the song's called. It's just completely slipped my mind right now, and it's the name of a bird. Wait, can I look it up on my phone?
Yeah, for sure.
I want to figure out who this is, because it's a beautiful song and it's got these like beautiful like flowing guitars. I gotta find it. Oh, I don't know where to look for it. I know it's in my liked songs, and it's a local artist and she's beautiful. Oh, it's called Magpie by Caitlin Keegan. And Caitlin Keegan is a local artist, and I saw her open for Alexia at Northcote Social Club last year, or possibly the year before. One of the two. It's one or the other. And it was just her on a stage and her beautiful guitar, and it was so mesmerizing. And I went back and I listened to her whole catalogue after that show, and I fell in love with the song called Magpie. So it's interesting because I wrote the song like a long time ago, like 2 or 3 years ago now, maybe 2 years ago, I don't know, but before I found Caitlin Keegan, and it was like something clicked for me for how I wanted the song to like translate in a recorded form. as opposed to I played it live a lot, and I would usually play it with just me and a guitar, and my backing vocalist Meg would sing these beautiful, beautiful harmonies. And I didn't have a vision for how to translate that energy of like how transfixing something can be when it's so simple to a recording until I heard that song by Caitlin Keegan. And yeah, so that was a huge influence, I think, in the recording process. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to go and check that out.
You should.
But
It's a beautiful song.
I love hearing about like when artists draw inspiration from the music that they've listened to.
Yeah, it's so like it was interesting because I play songs for my friends all the time, and like I songwrite with people, and I brought a idea that I had written a couple of months ago to my friend Nick Keogh. And we had a little songwriting session, and I showed him this thing, and he was like, oh my God, it sounds like the band Haim. And I was like, oh my gosh, right around that time when I wrote this idea, I was listening to heaps of Haim, and I didn't notice, and like I haven't listened to them so much heaps since. And then hearing him say that, I was like, you're so right. It does sound like Haim. And it's so interesting. That was not a conscious influence at all. It just sort of manifested its way in there. So I do wonder how many like sort of unconscious influences I have. I'm sure there's heaps. I just don't know what they are.
Yeah. I actually want to say that there was one influence I may have noticed in Born for the Tropics.
Yeah, Born for the
featuring,
Tropics, yeah.
Was it, oh my God,
Renee.
Yeah.
Yes.
She, but again, maybe I'm going about this the wrong way, but
go ahead.
But your performance space, so you were performing in a friend's garage.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it was actually my garage.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's my house.
But it actually reminded me of Call Me Maybe by Carly Rae Jepsen.
That's incredible. Oh, my God. I love the music video for that song as well. Isn't it fucking hilarious? Oh, my gosh. Am I allowed to swear? Anyway,
no,
doesn't matter.
Hey,
it's done now.
Allowed.
I love that. Carly Rae Jepsen, like, for a song to be that famous and that well known is like you've made an earworm, and that's a cool thing no matter what the reception is around it. It's pop music. That's what pop music's meant to do. That's great. That's a great success. Thank you so much.
It's more the music video that was the similarity I noticed, because at the end of the song she's performing in the garage.
And then the guy comes and she tries and gives that's so funny. I never made that connection. I'm sure there's heaps of music videos of people in garages, but I love that.
Yeah. And I have to say, it was amazing as well that you switched between like kind of, I guess what you'd expect of like, I guess like the observer camera, but then there's also one that's kind of like a bit more like roaming and interactive, and like it comes and you've stylized it to look like a handheld.
It actually is a camcorder.
Oh,
it really is. Yeah, I've just got a camcorder and I gave it to my friends, and I was like, do what you want, figure it out, have fun. And then I just went through the footage later, and I had no idea what I was going to find on there. Oh my God. Some of the stuff on there was like, I can't put that in the music video because my friends are insane, but I love them. But yeah, it's a real camcorder.
Yeah.
I think you can see it in one of the shots actually.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, which is cute.
Yeah, I thought you'd added an actual filter, but to know that's what actually came like from it, it was pretty cool.
It's cool. I don't think a filter can ever quite replicate what an actual like camcorder or like even film photography.
Yeah.
Like a filter can absolutely make it look so convincing. But I think when you put them side by side, if you ever take this exact same photo with a film camera versus like a digital camera and you put a film thing on it, I feel like you can tell. But also, it's not so much like a visual thing, it's just a vibe thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And speaking of vibes, this song was your story of meeting someone very intriguing at a bar.
Yeah.
So what vibes from that night were you trying to, I guess, put into the song?
Well, I never really actually spoke to the person that this is about that time. They were actually someone who I already knew, and I saw them out at a gig. And I could see that they were sort of having a little flirty time with someone else. And it's someone they have no idea the song's about them. Like they probably wouldn't. I did change a couple of details here and there to keep it more anonymous. Not that they'd even know anyway. Like, anyway, doesn't matter. But it was just very much the vibe of sort of going into this fantasy sort of place of like, what would happen if I like made a move right now? Like, what would I like to do? What is a different version of Emma who's a bit more like go-getter forward in person about these things? What could that look like? And I sort of wanted to blend that into like the live music scene of like, it can be kind of gritty and grungy, and that's where those like gritty guitars come in, and it can be like sticky carpets where like people's shoes are sort of sticking to the ground a bit because it's a live music venue. And I kind of wanted to bring that sort of darkness and like grittiness to the song, as well as the feeling of being like out and, you know, possibilities are endless. Who knows what's going to happen? But not, yeah, that's sort of the vibe.
Yeah, I definitely felt that through the song. So
I'm glad.
So when you mentioned, oh yeah, like when we got to Carly Rae Jepsen before, I'm like, no, I mean the music video was giving Carly Rae Jepsen, but the audio was it was a bit
I get you.
was a bit different. Well, hey, maybe one day you guys will collab.
That'd be an insane collaboration. Carly Rae Jepsen, if you're seeing this, let's go. Let's get in the studio. That'd be so funny.
Yeah, she's honestly, I've heard a lot of good things about her.
Yeah.
As a musician, but yeah, honestly, for your music as well, I love that each of your songs has like such a different, like, I guess, personality. Are they interconnected?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I don't really consciously think too much about cohesion amongst my songs, but I like to think that they're connected because they're all my experiences and I wrote them.
Oh yeah,
like,
true.
Because they are real different, and I'm very conscious of that. And I'm like, should I be consciously trying to make them all a bit more same? But I'm just hoping, like, I don't know, I just hope that me as a songwriter and my creative instincts will be strong enough to, like, as a signature almost, to bring them together in a way that, you know, like, the vibes, I guess, of each track won't. You know what I mean? Yeah. I also, I like to think of it maybe like 1989, how you've got like songs like Shake It Off, but then you've also got things like Clean, and they're all on the same album, but they're different. You just compared me to 1989, one of the best albums of all time. That's crazy. Thank you so much.
But yeah, Taylor was able to take like a lot of a lot of different musical influences, put them all on this album, and it
and what an album.
Yeah.
Are you excited? Are you a Swiftie?
Yes, definitely.
Me too.
I can't wait for the life of a showgirl.
Oh my god, same. Are you going to see like the movie thing that's going to come out?
Unfortunately, no, but
so
I will.
I'm sure you won't really miss much because it'll be on the internet within like 5 minutes.
Yeah. I'm one of the people who's like, I'm here for the music. I want to put it on when I'm driving, or
when I listen to that.
When I'm on
what's the ideal way to listen to a Taylor Swift album for the first time, in your opinion? Because some people
in my
do
bedroom.
Yes, agreed. Because some people do these big listening parties and stuff, and I love that. And like you see people who like live react to hearing Taylor Swift stuff for the first time. Yeah. I love that so much. But I also am like, the way that I'd react and like consume that music for the first time would just naturally and like uncontrollably be different to how I'm listening to it just alone in my room, not being observed, you know, or perceived. And I really love the idea of having that moment of like your first impression being genuinely entirely just what you think.
I feel like there's a lot of pressure to just like to be like very, I guess, reactive when you're being
literally. I listened to Tortured Poets for the first time, and I was on my bed in my old house. And I literally just lay there on my back like I was having some sort of spiritual experience, which I was. But like I barely moved my body. Like I was just so in my like the sonic headspace.
Yeah.
And it was like, I just felt like I absorbed it. I feel like you can't do that when you're thinking so much about your reactions to things.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got real off topic there.
Yeah. Hey, no, but it's yeah, it's good when you can kind of be in the moment. And I also want to ask about spaces as well, about your recording spaces. Do you record in a studio, or have you tried recording in your bedroom, or
all of the above? I usually, sometimes it depends. Most songs I bring into the studio. I have two wonderful producers who I love very much. I've got a producer named James, who I did Built for the Tropics with and Headlights. And I have another producer called Brad, and I did Letters to My Exes and Lonely Lover with him. I temporarily forgot the name of some of my songs. Anyway.
I've only seen 3 music videos. See You
They're
Again
not all
was
music
the next
videos.
one.
Yeah, they don't all have music videos. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So with James, I mean, with both of them, I usually just bring in me playing guitar and vocals, and like that's the full idea, and from there we build it. But sometimes I like to produce them a little bit more heavily in, I don't know, like if I get really excited about something, or I'm like, I hear this big drum arrangement, or I hear this guitar solo, I'll be like, I gotta get it down, like while it's in my head. So I'll set up my little setup at home, which is like very basic, but it does the job.
So what's in this setup? Do you have a microphone, or?
Yeah, so I've got like a couple of microphones. I've got like a little like audio interface to plug everything into, and then that connects to my laptop. And I'm a Logic girly, so I just plug it straight into that, and got some headphones, and that's about it really. Like very DIY home setup.
It's amazing to think about like what you can record at home.
Yeah, I mean,
remember
think about like Phineas and Billie Eilish, like they did everything in a bedroom.
Yeah, I used to be like so self-conscious about like, oh my God, I don't want to record in my bedroom. But then I'm like, no, actually, sometimes you just need to record something no matter where you're recording.
Exactly. And sometimes you also need to be in a space that you know so intimately, because like, I don't know, sometimes recording music and writing music can be very personal and very vulnerable. And being in a physical space where you like sleep, where you read books, where you get dressed, where you just like do these mundane everyday tasks.
And also a space where you feel safe as well.
Yeah. And it just like you've developed a relationship in that physical space enough so that you can be vulnerable in a way that you can't in other spaces.
Yeah.
So I think there's a beauty to bedrooms.
Yeah.
And like creating art in bedrooms.
Actually, one of my teachers, this just reminded me. So he used to, actually, I assume he still does podcasting, but he was telling us about this time when he was traveling for, I think he was traveling for work, and he had an idea for something to say for like the narration of this podcast that he was doing. So what he did was he got out his mobile phone and basically just went under the doona covers to record.
Love.
And he's like, and the thing is, like, it was just his mobile phone. It's not like, any top notch studio
none
mics
of these,
like we have
none of this
here.
shit.
And basically, nobody knew the difference because he'd created that little, I guess, cocoon, to record. So
it's really cool how accessible recording has become in that way. That being said, you just still need to have a phone and like even like a rudimentary microphone, and that's still something that might not be accessible to all people. But it is cool that you no longer have to have all the gear, all the equipment for it to still be viable as like a recording and as an idea. It's cool.
Yeah. And what's and in the studio when you go to make, I guess, the final versions of your songs, they've got all of the fancy gear. Is there a different energy you bring to that space?
Maybe. I kind of try not to in a way, because I don't want it to feel performative, and I want to have that vulnerability still, because I think that's really important. Something I'm trying to learn and like embody a bit more in my music at the moment is this idea that, especially like playing live, which I know is a different thing to recording, but I really like the idea that people don't necessarily want to see someone who is technically perfect, because I'm not going to be that. I don't have the time for that. I think people really enjoy, well, at least I really enjoy seeing someone be emotional and be vulnerable and like feel what they're doing. And sometimes feeling something takes away from the like technicality of how well you sing it or play it. And I think that's really beautiful and done well. I think that's a really captivating experience to see someone who is feeling this thing so well that like their voice breaks, they sing a little bit out of tune, they like miss, like they're just slightly out of time, or like the tempo moves a bit because they're feeling what they're doing so much. So I try and bring that to the studio a little bit, I think, and also to live. I think that's really cool. But I'm getting there, because it's sort of like I also don't want to sound bad, and there's a fear of like, what if I sound too bad, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's a delicate line to walk, and I think it's still a learning thing for me to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's going into any sort of recording space is a process that, you know, it takes, I guess it takes a bit of imperfection to make the space your own. Agreed. And I actually want to talk about another recording space where both of us have been, which is on Sin.
Yes!
So
let's go.
So Sin is is Melbourne's youth community radio station.
It sure is.
And I found out about you from your time hosting The Hoist, where you did basically like a little recap or a gig guide of all of the live music events
Now makes
in Melbourne.
noise.
So what was the inspiration behind, I guess, Now Makes Noise?
Good question. I think I realized that we didn't really have anything, because I did Thursday nights on The Hoist, and Thursday nights were like, oh, was it Wednesdays? I don't know. One of the two. And I think I realized that we had a bit of a gap there of like, we're just about to enter the weekend. People want to go out to gigs. Now, like when people look at they're just starting to be like, what am I doing this weekend on their phones or whatever? Like if you're checking your calendar, oh my gosh, I actually have a free night. What should I do? That midweek time is around when you realize that, because you're like, oh great, got some time. So I was like, what a great opportunity to be like, these are some cool local artists that you can go and support and see. And I think live music is really the lifeblood of the music industry. I really do. And I was just like, I know what gigs I'm going to go see this weekend. Everyone should do it. Come out and see gigs with me. Support. It's such a tangible way that you can show up for the music industry and like emerging artists. So I was like, I'm just going to do that.
Yeah, it's so cool to see like something like that where you're basically like giving people as well through this, you're giving people recommendations.
Yeah.
Because I know for me, like my mum will sometimes talk about live music, but every time I hear like she's talking about like 80s cover bands, which is not my vibe, unfortunately. So it's always good to hear from someone who's been going to these events, who's listened to, I guess, the up and coming talent in Melbourne.
Yeah, and I was already doing a lot of research on these artists anyway, because I was playing them on the radio, and I love to be like, oh, you just heard this song by this artist, and if you want to hear more from them, you can catch them at this gig next week. Like, that's such a cool little tidbit to know. So I was like, why don't I just collate that into like a segment specifically for people who want to go out and see live music. So here we are.
And also, as a musician yourself, was that also like something that opens doors for you, as you know, whether you're collaborating with someone or performing at a space?
I mean, a little bit. I definitely think people knew me a bit better because they were like, oh, not only are you a musician, you also do radio stuff. And I think that's just like a little tidbit that makes you stand out, I guess, from just the rest of the music scene in Melbourne who not everyone does music, but like everyone I feel like has their little part to play. Like I know people who work for The Push, like Robert Baxter, who's incredible, and it's just like a little extra defining detail.
Who's Robert?
Robert Baxter is a fucking amazing artist, pop diva, queer, Asian, does work with The Push. Absolutely check out Robert Baxter. Performed at Big Sound recently. Just all-round diva. in like the best way.
Hey, I'm definitely gonna have to add that to my
You should.
playlist. Honestly,
You
I think
should.
by the end of this, I'm just gonna have like this big playlist of like
As
all
you
of these
should.
different artists I didn't
Yeah.
know about.
There's so much talent around. There's so many incredible, beautiful people who want to create art and music. It's awesome. I love it.
And Melbourne is honestly, I've heard all the time that it is like the arts and culture capital of Australia. Is that something you see when you like go out?
I think so. I mean, I haven't really had a lot of time in other cities like for live music. Like the most
yeah,
I've really
true.
done is go to Big Sound in Brisbane, and that's a pretty like unique event that doesn't happen. It's like 1 week in September. So I don't know, but in my like having been in Melbourne for a long time, there's always a gig on every night that I'm like, oh, I would love to go to that, you know? And I don't know whether all the like other cities in Melbourne have that level of just diversity and involvement in the creative space as Melbourne does. I'd like to think that they do, because the arts is incredible and precious, and it is the breeding ground for culture, really.
Yeah.
So I'd like Australia to have more culture, but it's fine. We don't need to get into that.
Honestly, one thing I'd love to see one year if I can is Vivid Sydney, just to see what how that's different from Rising here in Melbourne. And
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
but I did see earlier this year, I found this like 4K video camera like live stream that you can watch of Sydney Harbour.
Oh,
and I
cool.
go and look at it at night and during Vivid you can actually see they had like some light projections on the Sydney
Wow.
Opera House and the Sydney Harbour Bridge. So
That's
I
so
guess
cool.
that was the closest I got to actually seeing that. But
That's real cool.
the fact that you can like stream it in 4K, it's
Yeah, I mean, technology-
it's as good as, you know, physically being there without, I guess, leaving the comfort of your room.
Literally. And I love the comfort of my room.
But yeah, it's oh, that actually reminds me. Earlier this year, I went to the Moonee Valley Festival, which is
cool.
like, so my local city council basically set up a community event in the in Queen's Park in Moonee Ponds.
Oh, cool.
And they had and they flew in like there was one band that literally sang a song about avocados.
Incredible work. Incredible work. I have a friend of mine. His name's Jack Lewis. He used to perform under the name Champagne Jacket, and they had a song called about potatoes, and it was so fun. It was one of my favorite songs ever. Genuinely, it's so good.
Honestly, it is amazing to hear. Like, I guess when the spark comes, you just
Bangers and mash, baby.
But yeah, they had, so the bands that performed the avocado song, they came from Sydney, and then they also
cool.
had Budgerah as well,
Love.
who was absolutely incredible to see.
Yeah,
But
I've seen him live before as well. It's just very captivating.
do you have a favorite Budgerah song?
Not off the top of my head. Do you have one?
Is It Ever Gonna Make Sense for
So
me?
true. It's a great song. It's a
Yeah.
great song. I'm pretty sure I interviewed him once.
Really?
Yeah, I can't remember because I went to the Budgerah show because of Sin. Because they sent me, because I got a media pass and I was, but I can't actually remember whether I ended up doing the interview or not. I don't remember. But it was a slay.
But yeah, he's honestly, I remember when he got up on stage, just that, like, the presence he has is absolutely magnetic.
Which show did you go to?
The Queen's the Moonee,
Oh yeah, of course.
the
Yeah.
Moonee Ponds.
I saw him at
thing.
170 Russell Street in Melbourne a couple of months ago, maybe a year ago now. Slay.
Wow.
Yeah. A lot of presence in that room.
Yeah. He honestly, I think he had the biggest attendance of like the whole night at the park.
Yeah, I
which
wouldn't be
is-
surprised. I wouldn't
Yeah.
be surprised.
which is really good. So, but yeah, it was. He's an absolutely incredible musician.
Agreed. So young as well.
And I want to ask, having seen like not only Butchera but all of these like local performances, has that shaped how you connect with your audience when you get up on stage?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, everyone, I think, has a different way of connecting to an audience. And, like, I think it's really interesting to see how different people do it. And, like, I love going to gigs and I love just turning my brain off and just, like, having a little boogie. But there is usually a part of my brain that's, like, taking notes a little bit. Because I think I could learn something from everyone who performs live, whether it's someone who's like really much heavier and like a lot of like sonic stuff happening on stage and the way that they interact. Like, I was playing a battle of the bands earlier this year and a lot of the bands on that bill were much heavier than my music is. And it was really interesting to see how they just put so much like physical energy into performing and still had so much energy afterwards. I was like, oh my God, you just like basically ran like 5 kilometers on stage, like with the amount of energy that you just put out into the world. How are you still standing? And then there's other people who like Caitlin Keegan, who can sit or stand on a stage with just a guitar and be quite still and like only really take up a little space on stage, but they fill the room. And I just think the way that people do that is so fascinating. And I'm a big like psychology nerd, so I find that kind of stuff really interesting, of like how people connect with a crowd.
Yeah, it's honestly amazing when you like there's nothing like going into a live music space and actually like seeing the person that you've like, you know, you've listened to their music and then you finally get to see them perform.
It's dazzling. I love it.
It's absolutely incredible. So.
Yeah, even just like the way people structure set lists and whether they talk a lot during songs and whether their like personality comes through with that as well as their music. And other bands talk very, very little throughout their set, and why they do that and how a crowd reacts differently, but how they still foster that connection without just talking, like how they get a crowd engaged in the music to be able to still show that personality that they have. I just think it's so interesting. Yeah. It's really cool.
I was also just thinking back to when I saw Butchera. He did a lot of like, he tried to get the crowd very involved in his performance. So he'd do like the call and repeat. Yeah. So he'd get us to shout like, "Is it ever gonna make sense?" Yeah. And then he'd sing like the leading vocals and then point to us when he wanted us to shout back. But
I love stuff like that.
But yeah, do you do that as well with some of your songs?
I don't yet.
Something you want to work on?
It's something I definitely want to do. Song? It's hard because I think in the circumstances in which that works best, it has to be a really strong line. Often repetition is good because if it only happens like once or twice in a song, people can't like catch on and get into it. Yeah. Because if you have that repetition, people will do it the first couple of times and they're sort of hesitant with it because they're not sure if they're doing it right. But if you do it a couple of times, their confidence builds, the vibe builds. Soon they're not thinking about, oh my God, is this our time to do it? And they're just like, how loud can I be? Or like, how involved can I get? Yeah. And they're not really consciously thinking that, but they become comfortable with the part. And I don't think I have any parts like that in my songs, at least the ones that I have performing live with, that really foster that sort of familiarity like within such a short amount of time to engage people like that. But it's something I really want to do, and I have some plans of like maybe that part of songs that I haven't performed live yet, so stay tuned is what I'm saying. Stay tuned.
Will definitely stay tuned.
Yes. And
I honestly, I was just thinking as well about Renee Rapp's song Leave Me Alone, like how she's got throughout the song, just leave me alone, I want to have fun. And then I'm like, yes,
that song.
And I'm like, yes, that's where you can just I imagine, I haven't actually seen anything, but I know she's on tour.
I think so, yeah.
From someone's Instagram story, I remember them saying like, or mentioning Renee Rapp in like their thing, so I assume they were at her concert. But yeah, that would be such I guess, a good way to get
that'd be a
involved.
great opportunity. I hope that over time, especially with songs that are successful, it's a lot easier to do when people know the songs and like are already familiar with the songs. And I'm definitely like still a small emerging artist, so I think I'm building up to an audience where they know the songs well enough to be able to do something like that, and it'll be really fun. I'm excited for when that happens.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Tell me about it.
I know I'm probably going off on a tangent, but
I love a tangent.
But one song that is very iconic here in like the local music scene, maybe more so for my parents' generation, is Am I Ever Gonna See Your Face Again?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Never let it get fuck off.
Yeah, the people basically just came up with their own.
Yeah, how did that happen?
Call and repeat.
Yeah, I don't even know how that particular one came about, but something like that I love. It fosters a sense of like community, and you're all in it together, and everyone knows it's coming and you're all anticipating it, and it's like this unspoken thing. I think when communities and people have sort of unspoken things that draw them together, like something like that, I think it's really powerful.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
And I love when you're listening to it, like without that,
You're
like without knowing it, it's like, you know, it's kind of this like sad, this like, I guess you can kind of feel like
There's meant to be something here.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
what's
supposed to be like a different kind of feeling, and then and then people just adding in like this response,
their own stuff,
that is completely different to what
that
the
reminds
artist
me.
intended.
Apparently, I don't know this. I've never seen this in person. This is through the grapevine. But the Scottish national anthem, apparently, the citizens of Scotland, they just, when they sing the national anthem, they sort of split, and there's a second part to it that isn't official, but that people do, and it's similar to that song where there's people have just created this other part, and apparently that's a thing, but I don't know whether that's a fact. But it's so funny that like for something like a national anthem, it's like, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
I have to say also with our national anthem as well, I learnt it with the with like, I guess I learnt the full version. So sometimes when I hear people sing like the short version, I'm like, wait, there's more.
Yeah.
Where's the second verse?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting to see, I guess, how songs can be interpreted and
how people can add
shared.
their own like little bits and bobs to a song, and sometimes those are the best bits and bobs.
Yeah. Is there any like, I guess, bits and bobs that you want to add to your songs? Any instruments or vocals or something that you want to play around with?
I definitely think over time I would love to do different like arrangements of my songs. I don't think I'm quite there yet in terms of like, that takes a lot of time and to rearrange parts, and I'm not the most like theory minded musician. I don't understand that.
You
But
could
I'd love to.
absolutely I was just thinking back to Taylor Swift.
Tell me about it.
But she did the mashups on the Eras tour. You
Yeah.
could always mash up one of your songs and
That'd be so
another
fun.
song you love.
I have like so many. Well, yeah. You know what? I'm not going to spoil that, but I have some mashups in the works.
Oh, wow.
I'm
Honest.
just going to leave that.
Okay, now I'm getting really excited. So,
You'll just have to come to a live show. I don't know.
but I will say you've got one more song in the pipeline that you're that is coming out very soon. It's called
I haven't actually announced which song it is yet.
Oh,
but I can.
Yeah, what's it called?
It's called Just for Kicks.
Just for Kicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it on the pre-save link. I remembered the 4, but I'm like, what's
the rest of it?
What's the rest of the name? And I wasn't sure if that was actually the album or
It's just a single. Yeah.
So what can you tell us about the vibe of this one?
Yeah, it's a song that I did with my lovely producer Brad. And I haven't actually released a song that me and Brad have worked on together for a while. So it's sonically a little bit different to how me and James produce together. And it's really interesting because they both have very different like mixing styles. They both go for very different like drum sounds, for example, and it can really change how a song sounds, because at the end of the day, when I write these songs, it's just me and a guitar, and to take them to either of these producers is to like change it in a way that feels still like me, absolutely, but it's so different. And it's so fascinating how two producers bring out a completely different sound, but both feel very true to me, which is really special, I think. So it's a song that I did with him. I wrote it honestly around the time that I wrote Headlights, probably within a couple of months.
Wait, but Headlights you did with James.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why you're going with different producers? Is it just sonically, like you, like James kind of matched Headlights and...
I don't really know. I think it's sort of worked out. It's sort of to do with scheduling as well, because like we both work on different schedules. And it's sort of just, sometimes I feel like a song has a James vibe, and sometimes a song feels like it has a Brad vibe. Like Just for Kicks was a very Brad vibe to me, whereas Headlights was quite James vibe. But then there are other songs that I have with both of them that could have gone either way. And I'm like, I don't really know I haven't really quantified what a James vibe or a Brad vibe is. It's sort of just like an instinct. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's interesting though. Isn't that fascinating? I've never thought about it.
Yeah, it's I have to say it's kind of like, I guess, when when you're taking an idea, like for me sometimes I'll make a social media video or something and I'm not sure about it, and depending on who I send it to, I get a different response. Yeah. Like actually yesterday I tried to copy a trend that I saw, which was so I showed the clip first to my teacher Rachel, and she's like, oh, I don't really like, I guess, the first clip that you used. Whereas I was like, I'm pretty sure this is the clip to be using. But then I showed it to my friends, and then she's like, no, this is perfect. I love it. Yeah. So, yeah. And I'm like, okay, it's either that they're both interacting with different types of reels, or that they want to see like different, or that they want to engage with the different side of my content. So.
Exactly. And I guess it depends on what they're why are they even watching this video in the first place? Yeah. Like to get different things out of it, what intrigues them about it. Yeah. Could mean different things. And
Rachel's a PhD like supervisor, so she's probably watching it from like a perspective of someone who looks at like, I guess, media, academia kind of stuff. Whereas Kayla doesn't do anything that's media related. She's studying to be a vet, so
that's a different thing.
So yeah, maybe that also factored into why they responded so differently to the same,
and whether they've
video.
both seen the trend, whether they both engage with that kind of content normally. Like there's so many factors.
Yeah. And also for you as well, social media is a great way for indie artists to promote themselves, and also how I found out about you from you making the reels and of your Nam Makes Noise. But is there how have you found, I guess, kind of adapting what you're already doing and then putting it on social media? Is there, I guess, a pressure to curate a sort of image?
Oh, huge. Yeah. And it's interesting because I don't think that social media is a be-all or end-all for artists. But I do think it has, I mean, and you'll hear this from like everyone at the moment, that it has a really big role in artist discovery. And it can, like, I know there was a survey done, I think, at the end of last year of like just a real simple question of like, where are you discovering new artists? Like, where are you getting your new music from? And so many people said TikTok. And I think that's really interesting because it's like, damn, like you can have a lot of influence and power through TikTok, I guess. But then there's with that is such a motivation, but also a pressure to create content that fits with TikTok and like what does well on there. And who knows what that even is at any given moment. Like, there's trends and there's like songs that are popping off right now, but like I couldn't tell ya what's gonna happen next on that app, you know? And I think that's simultaneously really interesting and kind of paralyzing.
Yeah.
And like such a powerful tool, but it's so easy to get swept away in it. And there's a lot of value to be put in a platform that you can reach so many more people like across the world, where you couldn't do that like 10 years ago. But it's also so easy to get bogged down by what that actually is, you know? I don't know how to explain that eloquently, but here we are.
Yeah, no, I definitely see that, like, I guess popping up for me. I because I want to do, I guess, more talking head videos rather than music stuff. I definitely see, like, you know, you need to have a viral hook and you need to change your camera angles every 2 seconds. And
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and there's all of that. And then for music as well, I see people trying to make like trends with their songs, and and
it's a grind.
Yeah.
It's a grind.
But I will say it is also such a great way for people to interact with your music if they can't make it to an event as well, which is
absolutely. And like the accessibility that TikTok has, and like just social media in general, can be really good, because again, live music isn't accessible for everyone, which is, I think, something that Melbourne and the live music scene as a whole really needs to work on. But also for the people who wouldn't go to live gigs even if they were more accessible, getting to consume it, I don't know, new music and find new people without going out being sort of a prerequisite to it, I think is really cool.
Yeah, it's like, I guess the way I like to view TikTok, especially in terms of finding musicians, is it's like having a sample of the ice cream before you go and buy the cone.
Yeah,
so,
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And you can get your sample out to more people and hope that more people like it. But also there are 20 million samples being shoved in your face at all times.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know how it be.
Yeah, I try, one thing I've actually been trying to do is I guess distance myself from social media, so I'll try and spend like, I guess like I'll spend a bit of time on there, because I do like to know what's happening and stay up to date with, I guess, what's happening now. But then on the flip side of that, what I do when I notice, okay, I've been scrolling for a bit too long and my attention span is getting absolutely fried, is that I go and I watch you know, if I either go take a break physically, like put my phone down and go and do something else. And then if I'm like, look, I'm still looking for that, like, you know, if I'm like, okay, cool, now I can focus on something else, or if I'm still looking for that. So yeah, if I can
instant gratification,
if I can focus on something, and you know, I'm ready to do the tough stuff, whether that's writing an essay or something, I'll do that. But if I still need that kind of like that entertainment, I'll go and turn on an old TV show.
Yeah. So I love a TV show in the background.
Yeah.
It's great.
But I try to like put my phone down and make sure I actually pay attention to the TV show rather than just having that as background noise while I scroll.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's but yeah, I feel like that's really, I guess, shaping my relationship with like as a media person, it's shaping, I guess, what I do, what I interact with, and
it's very conscious.
Hopefully how I create as well.
Yeah, it's really cool. I think a lot of people, I mean, I suppose we're both more clocked into media than the average person, because it's such a tool, an asset for us as someone studying media and as a musician. But I do think a lot of people are a little bit passive in their interaction with social media. And like they just, and as they should be, like that's what social media, like the fucking algorithm is to them. Like it's an escape of like dealing with real life. It's stimulation without having to do anything to create the stimulation. You can just keep going forever. And it's really interesting how I think people who just use social media for, you know, a doom scroll, as opposed to people like us who sort of study it.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. And are a lot more like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like The word is, there's a word. It doesn't matter.
Engagement?
Sort of.
Is
like
it?
a lot more like considerate. Not considerate. I can't think of the word right now. But like,
Yeah, I
you know,
guess.
actively thinking about what it is.
Yeah. I guess.
These words were going to bother me.
Yeah, I was going to say speculating, but I'm like, that's,
Sort of.
That's
That's
yeah,
okay.
it's all
We
right.
can move on.
Yeah.
It'll come to me in like
But-
20 minutes, maybe. Or in like
But-
12 hours where it's completely irrelevant.
But where can we go to find you on social media?
My social media handle on most of the things is Emma Makes Noise because I think it's cute.
And it also is a play on Numb Makes Noise as well.
Well, actually, Numb Makes Noise is a play on Emma Makes Noise.
Oh.
Yeah, because it was Emma Makes Noise before it was Numb.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
I was like, I'll steal that. It's kind
Yeah.
of cute. I love a
Well-
bit of alliteration.
Yeah. Well, honestly, it has been absolutely amazing to have you in the studio today.
Thank you so much for
And-
having me.
Yeah, and I can't wait to hear what you've got coming up. So thank you
Yes.
so much.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to see where this goes, and it was a really lovely conversation that we had. I really enjoyed it. So thank
Yeah.
you so much for having me.
Thank you, and thank you for coming in.
Let's go, girls.